Life has to come to an end eventually. It is one of the hardest things in life to deal with. The hardest thing about losing someone is only having memories to remember them by and not being able to see them anymore. Death, unfortunately, is a part of life. All a person can do is remember the loved ones who passed away and live their life to make them proud. I've lost two people who were very close to me. It was difficult to decide who to write about. I lost my grandma and great grandpa. I decided to write about my great grandpa for many reasons. My great grandpa was born on October 30th, 1907. He was born in Summit, New Jersey. He worked for Babcock and Wilcox and retired in 1975, having worked for them 19 years in the barber plant and 21 years in Japan working as a civil engineer. He had two daughters, two brothers, and one sister. He made sure he worked for an Allied company during World War II. When the atomic bombs, they could feel the ground shake but did not get harmed by the bombs. When I was 2, my family moved to the house I currently lived at. The reason we moved was because my dad put an addition on my great-grandpa's house so we could live with him and take care of him. He had his own side of the house. On his side, he had a living room and kitchen combination. He had a bedroom and his own bathroom. He kept to himself and really enjoyed watching the television and playing handheld video games such as poker. He also liked having different kinds of gadgets. He would make his own breakfast and lunch, and my mom would bring him over wherever we ate for dinner. When we first moved in with him, he still had his driver's license and would drive himself to places. Then one day he gave my dad his keys and told me he didn't want to drive anymore. One of my favorite memories of my great-grandpa was every Christmas morning. My mom would make chocolate chip cinnamon rolls for breakfast. We would start off by having every person open gifts out of their stocking. My grandpa would always open his first. He would comment on all the gifts in the stocking and things he would say were extremely funny. Then after we opened all of our stockings, he would open all of his presents first. He was very funny again opening those presents. He would say things like, "This is cool. What is it?" He would open some of his presents while everyone else was opening their presents. He would try to figure out how to use some things. If he could not figure it out, he would ask my dad for help. He always made Christmas more entertaining. The first Christmas without him was very difficult to deal with, and it was very weird. It did not feel right. I felt empty without him there. My great grandpa was a great man, was a very happy-go-lucky guy. He liked to keep to himself, and all he needed to be happy was his television. I remember one day when my grandpa was over, he heard a noise in my great-grandpa's room, so my grandpa went into my great-grandpa's room and asked him if everything was alright. When my grandpa entered his room, asked him, what the hell are you doing over here? What do you want? That summarizes him perfectly. He really enjoyed his TV and liked to be by himself. Watching his television. However, he enjoyed seeing our costumes at Halloween. There was one time when my brother dressed up as a knight costume for his high school to be the mascot for the basketball game. He was laughing so hard that his teeth fell out of his mouth. He would love some of the stuff my brother would dress up in high school. My brother went to the Spirit Week for the week of the Rockwood game. Therefore, every day he dressed up, and forever the theme was particular day he would go on my grandpa's side. I would show him. He would laugh at every outfit my brother would wear. Another memory I really enjoyed was when we had a yard sale on our house. He wanted to go to the store, and since he wanted to go to the store, he decided to back down the driveway with people looking at stuff. While people were looking at our items, luckily he did not hit anyone or anything. My dad was very close to my great-grandpa. My dad remembers stories about how my great-grandpa made sure he worked for an Allied company. My dad said he moved his wife and 2 daughters to the hills in Japan during World War II. When the atomic bombs went off, the few of the ground shake but did not get harmed. He said if he remembers hearing stories about his work as a civil engineer, my great-grandpa's parents worked in a bakery in New Jersey. My great-grandpa's one brother was a doctor. My dad said that he was probably closest to my great-grandpa. They would go on a bunch of road trips together, and it was very tough to watch how hurt my dad was when he died. The hardest part about my great-grandpa's death was he died 28 days from his 100th birthday. I noticed that was the last I was able to comprehend and understand why he was taken 28 days before his 100th birthday. I was desperately hoping he'd be able to live to 100. However, now as I've gotten older and experienced a lot of difficulty in my own life, I realized that there was probably a reason why God took him before he was able to turn 100 years old. At the end of his life, he was in a lot of pain and suffering so much. So in hindsight, him dying 28 days before turning at 100 is still an incredible accomplishment. I really hope that I've done things in life that would make him proud of me. I'm always thinking about him. I always had a dream. And planned on playing football like both my brothers did. However, unfortunately, didn't go as planned. I had a horrific injury my freshman year. I completely shattered my ankle. I only got playing one in the last game of my sophomore year, half the games of my junior year, and last game of senior year. However, I know it happened for a reason, which is to prepare me for my junior year. I think and hope he would be proud of me. I just got done coaching my first season of football. I coached freshmen at football at home, and Steve got married, and I think he would have loved to. I think he would have loved being at his wedding. I think he would have loved his wedding and would have had a great time. I miss him so much, and I will never forget him and hope I made him proud. Things I do in life, I keep him in mind, and I miss him and I love him so much.